I'm Luke Starkowski. I work for the government, but in my spare time, do work as a civic tech open data type person, working to make public data more accessible, right? Make it easier for people to understand how government works, using information that is already public, but maybe not quite as accessible or usable as it could be. I used to do this sort of in the context of Ottawa Civic Tech, and now kind of find it occasional weekends and evenings doing it with random projects on GitHub. Last fall, as many folks were around the country, I was pretty taken by the work of the Public Order Emergency Commission, which was looking into as it was described at the time, so the events that happened in Ottawa in February 2022, which I lived, sort of very personally, and I was really impressed by the amount of public discussion, right, that was taking place in the hearings every day, where you had people that were really directly involved in the convoy, including organizers, but also law enforcement officials, national security officials, and senior government officials, kind of all coming to the same place and all speaking in the same context, quite candidly about their view of the situation and how things work. And I thought my small part for that might be to make it easier to read and access the really historic testimony that was being shared at the POIC Commission. So in a weekend, as sometimes happens, I guess, I took some time and took a lot of the information that had been shared in the POIC in the form of PDF transcripts, and converted it into a more sort of readable web-based model, where we can find a page for each day of testimony, and then you can sort of very easily see who spoke on a given day, and all the different things that they said, and put it out there, right? So for whether journalists at the time, interested members of the public, or in the future, researchers, academics, and so on, and people who want to sort of understand the Commission's work to access. And I think this is sort of, if I could sum up my approach to open data, and one that I really appreciate other folks taking, is to take information that's already out there, but make it more easy to access, whether through a website or otherwise, to sort of broaden the scope of folks who can access that information. So I say thank you to the Society and for the Canadian Open Data Awards. It was really an honor to sort of see the newsline in my inbox. I'm just happy to kind of have been able to do my small part, I guess, in making this information more accessible.